Celeste is a game about a girl who attempts to climb a mountain called Celeste Mountain. She doesn't know why she's doing it, and she has never climbed a mountain before. As the game progresses, Madeline becomes the centermost focus point of the game's narrative. Narratively, Celeste is a game about finding meaning in your own existence. Madeline lacks both a community and a self-perceived purpose in life. Madeline's journey up the mountain symbolizes her journey of self-realization and acceptance. This game's narrative is incredibly multifaceted and complex, especially with how the characters, soundtrack, and environments interact with the story, but I'd like to focus on a smaller part of the game, the Forsaken City. The Forsaken City is the first chapter in Celeste. It serves as both your tutorial for the game mechanics and as your introduction to Celeste's themes of loneliness and isolation. The Forsaken City presents a strange dynamic between humanity and nature. Later in Celeste, Madeline finds herself in progressively more foreign environments that have been largely untouched by humans. However, the Forsaken City is different. It represents humanity as being cold and abandoned, with representations of nature being minimal, mostly represented by occasional groups of birds. The Forsaken City perfectly represents the start of Madeline's journey. She is running away to the outskirts of a world that doesn't accept her, and in return, nature also decides to treat her coldly. The level is desolate and mostly devoid of life or any substantial color. Madeline's journey is bleak, and yet tucked away behind steel beams and walls of stone, this level does have some rare moments of beauty. On the topic of secrets, the Forsaken City, as previously mentioned, serves as the player's tutorial. Abandoned signs and advertisements draw attention to strawberries, which serve as Celeste's main collectible, and they also draw attention to secret rooms. Some signs simply point towards items or areas of interest, so as to guide the player gently along, while other signs are catalysts for secrets that are actually quite well hidden. These signs encourage players to be curious and to experiment, while not completely leaving them in the dark on what to do or where to go. One of the most important parts of the level is Madeline's first meeting with Theo, one of the main characters of Celeste. Theo and Madeline's personalities clash upon first meeting. This is much like the imagery of nature and industrialization within the Forsaken City. Theo, like the campfire around which you meet him, provides a stark contrast and a sense of calming within the player. Theo takes the role of a companion/accidental mentor within Celeste's narrative, and this first meeting perfectly establishes him as just that. Finally, I'd like to talk about the ending of this chapter. Madeline finally makes her way out of the Forsaken City. She is tired and doubtful of her ability to complete a task as Herculean as climbing a mountain with no previous experience. As she reaches a clearing at the end of the city, she finds a tombstone that reads, "This memorial, dedicated to those who perished on the climb." This tombstone contributes to Celeste's overarching metaphor of comparing Madeline's journey of acceptance with her scaling of Celeste Mountain. Madeline is doubtful of her own ability to persevere, both physically and mentally at this point in the game, and this is for good reason. Some people never find themselves. Some people die trying and aren't allowed the luxury of having their own peace. Some people get lost searching for themselves in mental doubt that embodies an endless, abandoned cityscape. And yet, we remember them. Remembrance keeps people alive even after the death of their bodies, minds, and souls. This is the most important message of the Forsaken City, and a lot of these themes are driven home more as the story progresses. Despite her fears, Madeline continues after this point.